Have you ever disliked a YouTube video?
No,
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I don't think
I
so.
was going to give an example. I'm like, well, what if I dislike? And then I'm like, I don't think I've ever actually disliked a YouTube video.
I think I guess a long time ago I liked them because I was poking around the back end of my account
Yeah.
once, and there was a playlist of like videos you liked.
It automatically makes that, but I don't think it makes one of ones you dislike.
But I guess I had done that like 8 years ago, and I went into it, and
What's in it?
there's just like
Donkey Kong?
a chimpanzee playing Ms. Pac-Man. I guess I liked this
Of
video
course.
like 10 years ago. The link to that video down below. I guess
Yeah.
at one point they were testing, same way like you see if chimps can learn sign language and stuff. I was
Yes,
into that sort
okay.
of stuff. Nim Chimpsky, if you've seen
Yes.
that Project Nim,
Mm-hmm.
good documentary. Shout out Nim Chimpsky.
Yes, Ben. No,
talk
I was
about
just thinking,
monkeys.
like, the type of person to dislike a video in the first place, right? Like, you have to want to make a statement. You want to let the creator or the brand know that you really don't like something. Just like the people who dislike my videos before they're live or after they're live, you know?
Why do you think that? Do you think they're just disliking the fact that you're making content at all?
No, sometimes it's topical. I don't want to write it all off as,
Yeah.
kind of stupid. But I just, when I think of myself, I don't think I've ever disliked a video ever. Because I just like, I don't care.
But
I
there's
don't care.
bad videos.
Yeah, of course. And I would have a debate, I would argue, I would express my opinion on Twitter or here and say how much I dislike this creator or their terrible apology. I'll say that out loud to my friends or family or wherever. But I don't know, maybe I just like don't care about the dislike button because I don't really think it means much. And I know that's also not true because if no one disliked the video, then no one would know that that video is well disliked. So I recognize that as well. I guess it's just like not my style to go shit on things directly. I'd rather just talk about them more globally.
I think that's actually a pretty relatable take because, like, outside of just the YouTube sphere, when you think about, like, hey, maybe I'm in a new city or I'm just looking for, like, a new restaurant to try, you might be looking at the sort of Google reviews or Yelp reviews or things like that, right?
Yeah.
And I do this too. I sort of use the sort of average of the ratings on those restaurants as, like, some indication if they're too low, that's probably a really bad sign and I won't try them. But I and you and probably most people I know aren't the types of people to actually leave reviews for restaurants, right? So it does make you wonder, are the people who are vocal and more inclined to feel like they need to share their opinion or that their opinion is worth sharing are actually in some ways disproportionately affecting people's perceptions of things.
Yeah, and that's always the case, right?
Yeah.
But just
But
like
that's one thing if it's like a movie reviewer you trust.
it's like the self-selected survey bias, where the
Yeah.
person who's just really interested in the outcome of the survey or participating in general are the people who volunteer. But then the results are based on these people who are just like so excited about it for whatever reason, whether good or bad. And that's the same thing with reviews. But I wouldn't want people to interpret this as like, don't leave reviews, because I do think it is important for people to leave reviews on products or services, good and bad reviews. And I should probably do a better job at leaving good or bad reviews when it makes sense to. I guess it's just a personality trait of mine that if I have a bad experience as a restaurant, I just kind of leave it. I don't actually write it up on Google, but that's just me.
Yeah, maybe we should all leave more reviews. But like, I guess
But
it's
like
just
it's exhausting for me.
to leave reviews.
I can't like I'm just don't. Sorry.
You've got enough going on.
Yeah, well, no, but it's not just like it's not that I'm special. I just mean like if I have a bad experience with a restaurant, I'll tell that to my friend or the next person who brings it up. But I just like don't have it in me to like log on the website and talk shit about it.
Maybe that's like a Canadian thing, or maybe it's just us.
Maybe we're too.
But yeah, like if I eat at a restaurant and I find it's kind of blah or disappointing, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to tell people that. I just won't recommend it to other people
But
the
I-
way I would recommend something I did like.
I want to make sure that people know I also recognize that attitude that I just said I had is unhelpful because it's like selfishly withholding that information from future customers who I don't know, so they won't be able to ask me directly, right? So
Sure.
in some cases, like you should leave reviews where it makes sense, But if that's going to negatively affect your day or mental health because you're like sitting at home writing up and getting mad at it, then like don't do it either. You know, you have to balance
But
it.
what opinions do I want from like I don't care what Simply Nailogical thinks about some Indian food restaurant that opened up in my town.
Well,
Like
I would
why
never
do I
say Simply Nailogical on my reviews.
But no, sorry, my point is I might care what your opinion or review is of nail products or
Yeah.
beauty products, of things that I trust you are knowledgeable of.
And brands dislike those videos of mine.
Well, sure.
Now they
Let's
won't
not-
have the satisfaction.
They're the ones disliking your
Yeah.
videos.